It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. We are in the Rummer Tavern again in Cardiff, looking at Timothy Taylor's Golden Best. It's a beer at 3.5% ABV, so the beer's been poured out. It's got a lovely one finger head, a nice golden coloured ale. Let's see what this 1858 style beer looks like. Okay, so next beer in the Rummer Tavern is Timothy Taylor's Golden Best, coming in at 3.5% ABV. There's a look at the beer. A nice traditional looking beer with a nice creamy head. A very traditional beer, a session beer at 3.5%. I imagine you can drink absolutely gallons of this stuff and not really be affected. Not that I suggest you do, but let's get the aroma. A little bit of sticky toffee. A biscuity, sticky toffee aroma to the beer. Let's dive in. Cheers. A very, very traditional beer. And one that I'd like to comment on because sometimes quite challenging. The reason they're quite challenging, I like them, I think they're very good, is that times have changed. There's a lot of people now that really enjoy their hops, and there's a kind of a big influx, a big impression, a big interest in hops these days. So a lot of people add a lot of hops to their beer, a lot of breweries, and this is like a step back to the mid 1980s, mid 1990s, where it's a big malty, bready, biscuity brew, but not a lot of hop character. 3.5% ABV. I mean, I suppose what I'm trying to look at here is where would I look to drink this beer? I'm in a traditional ale house in Cardiff. The records dated back to 1713. It probably goes back a lot further than that. And I start to wonder where this beer's place is. It has a place. Perhaps it's a lunchtime beer. Perhaps you've done your morning's work, you want to go somewhere for lunch. Perhaps you have this 3.5% beer with your lunch and you go back to work with your boss not knowing any different that you've been to the pub on your lunch. But for me, I suppose going back 5 years ago when I first started drinking beer, I would have found this absolutely fantastic. I would have drunk it till the cows come home. It was a beer that I would have drunk out of choice. But my palate's changed, my palate's developed. I like a lot of hoppy beers. I've just finished reviewing the Purity Mad Goose Pale Ale. It's only 1% more ABV, it's 4.2% ABV, so it's only 0.7% more in the ABV, and yet it's got bags more flavour. It's lovely and hoppy and citrusy, and you could sit and kind of enjoy it all afternoon long. But I would quickly move away from this Timothy Taylor Harvest Best. It's just not my style anymore. It's just not what I'm looking for in a beer. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I know some of you might completely disagree with this review, but hey ho, each to their own. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me. Put your comments in the comments box. Please subscribe to our daily beer reviews, and cheers.